You know, I've had conversations with people about it, and it's like just trying to get the documents. Like when they're trying to get the Epstein files, like the state of New York, one of the district attorneys was hiding. They were hiding documents that have forced them to give documents. I think there's so many powerful people that are on those lists. There's so many powerful people that went and partied. Air quotes, partied. And how many of them went to the Diddy parties? Have you been paying attention to the trial?
Oh, yeah.
Trial. Wild.
With Ghislaine, with Epstein, with Diddy. Either Diddy's gonna commit suicide, either he's going to be hiding somewhere that we won't hear about for many, many years, or he's gonna be O.J. Simpson and he'll be released and said, I told you I was as innocent. I told you nothing happened. I told you I was this. Or he's gonna go to jail and spend the rest of his life in jail. Not likely, because he has access to a lot of information on a lot of people that make a lot of money for people in Hollywood. Do they want those people to be gone? I don't know.
The case surrounding Sean Diddy Combs is spiraling fast, and what's coming out now is way beyond just scandal. Every day, it's like another skeleton gets dragged out, and the whole thing is starting to feel like we've seen this movie before.
Wait, what's the friendship?
The RICO charge against Diddy is not just about trafficking one victim, and it's just about more than trafficking. The RICO, feds are accusing him of multiple acts of kidnapping, arson, witness tampering, bribery, forced labor, intent to distribute narcotics, and more.
This is now looking like a twisted web of power, manipulation, and secrets that run deep. Joe Rogan jumped in and let it all out on his podcast. He said flat out that this smells just like Epstein. Now he's saying, what if something like that is happening again? Rogan believes Diddy's parties weren't just wild celebrity events. What if those parties were meant for something else? Something way more calculated.
To compromise celebrities. Yeah. And get them to say whatever you want them to do, get them to do whatever projects you'd like them to do.
He wasn't shy about what he thought. Rogan said it's very possible that some very well-known people were showing up to those parties. And if that's true, it's not just Diddy who's in trouble, it's everyone who got too close. The fear right now isn't just about whether Diddy's guilty, it's about who else could get dragged into this with him. And then Rogan threw out something even heavier. He said, what if Diddy wasn't even the one running the whole thing? What if this wasn't his creation, but something bigger? Something he was just helping operate because it's all too big for one person to pull off alone. Rogan has a very interesting take. He said that maybe Diddy was just a part of the system, or maybe he was being used by someone more powerful.
Now, if that's not an intelligence agency operation, it's just one evil super genius who figures out how to compromise everybody by providing this crazy freak-off party. Everybody's got to put their phones away. Okay, we're going to put our phone away. No one's going to know anything. Yeah, I mean, he's going to get cameras everywhere. It's just one guy doing that. What a diabolical human being.
Rogan went even deeper. He said those parties weren't random. They were carefully planned. Diddy would invite celebrities, get them to let their guard down, and once they crossed the line, he would record everything. Later, when it suited him, he would use those recordings to trap and blackmail them.
You know, if you're a bunch of other celebrities are there, you're like, oh, look, Bill Clinton's here. This is fine.
Yeah.
This is cool. Look at this. Like, Brad Pitt's here. Well, this is cool. You don't even think there's anything wrong with being there. Meanwhile, you're getting up and filmed. And then they're passing out punch. Have some punch, Aaron. And you have some punch, and all of a sudden you're like, I'm feeling really good. I just feel amazing. You're all mollied up. You don't know what the you're doing. Probably a combination of things they give you.
And it's all being filmed.
This wasn't about fun. It was about ownership. Making sure no one could speak out or walk away clean. This isn't just one man doing bad things behind closed doors. This is looking like someone who had backup. Serious backup. People are whispering about secret connections, high places, and big names shielding him.
Again, these types of behaviors, you're gonna pick it up from somebody, some kind of bad influence, somebody that taught you how to be an informant. Nobody wakes up one morning and just...
What set people off even more was when Patrick Bet-David pointed something out that had everybody doing a double take. Guess who's leading the case against Diddy? The daughter of former FBI boss James Comey. Yes, that same James Comey who recently made some odd remarks that some believe were aimed at Trump. And before she came in, the previous prosecutor, Damian Williams, suddenly left the case quietly. No noise, no press. It's got people asking if he was pushed out. Nothing ever stuck. But once that Diageo lawsuit popped up, everything changed.
Diddy sues Diageo. Diddy filed a lawsuit accusing Diageo of neglecting the De Leon brand, racial discrimination, claiming they marketed it as an urban product and failed to treat him as a true business partner.
After a private settlement, just 2 months later, the feds raided Diddy's place. Just like that. So now people are wondering if Diageo was protecting him all along. Was that partnership the reason nothing touched him?
The only thing at the time is kind of crazy is January 2024, they settle. 2 months later, remember what we're sitting there doing and minding our own business? And you hear, March of 2024, the feds are raiding Diddy's Miami home and his LA home. For what?
And it's not just speculation anymore. One man, a sex worker, actually took the stand. His testimony was jarring. He stated that he was paid to be intimate with Cassie while Diddy observed.
Says his boss called him to go to a hotel in Manhattan where he met Cassie Ventura at the door. He says she was dressed in a red wig, red lingerie, and essentially gave him $4,000 with the intent that he was going to have sex with her. He also noted that Sean Combs, he said that first encounter was off to the side and watched Cassie Ventura and this male review show manager have sex and masturbated. He said sometimes these meetings would last anywhere from an hour to 10 hours, and even said that Sean Combs recorded some of this on his cell phone.
These weren't private fantasies, they were documented. The courtroom went silent. Then came even more twists. The defense dragged Kid Cudi and Michael B. Jordan into the mix.
But Kid Cudi, whose legal name is Scott Mescudi, took the stand yesterday discussing his brief relationship with Combs' ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura back in 2011. Mescudi also testified Combs broke into his Los Angeles home and claimed he was responsible for setting his Porsche on fire.
Cassie had been romantically involved with them, and this made Diddy jealous. There was a moment when everything spiraled out of control. When Diddy allegedly found out, he snapped, and things escalated from there.
Point that's been important is this relationship with a man by the name of Kid Cudi, in which Cassie, according to the testimony, was taking part in one of these freak-offs when Sean Combs found out that she was, quote-unquote, cheating on him with this man you're looking at right here, Kid Cudi. She was in one of those freak-offs, and then Sean got a hold of her phone and then realized that they had been having a relationship together, and she said that that did not go over very well to say.
Then came David James, Diddy's ex-assistant. He broke down on the stand. He said that on day one, HR told him point blank, "This is Diddy's kingdom, you serve him," and from there, things only got darker. He described a toxic, fear-filled environment.
We also heard today from a personal assistant to Combs who became emotional on the witness stand when he testified about his interview at Bad Boy Records to become his personal assistant. This assistant, David James, testified that he was told by the head of Human Resources that this is Mr. Combs' kingdom and we're all here to serve him.
He encouraged Cassie to leave the relationship, but she said she couldn't. Everything about her, from her career to her accommodation, was tied to Diddy. She was manipulated and trapped.
He also testified about an exchange he had with Ventura in which he talked to her about leaving this chaotic, crazy lifestyle, and Ventura told him, James testified, that she couldn't leave because Combs was in charge of her career and her money and her apartment, and so she couldn't leave. He'll be back on.
Big Homie, a former associate of Diddy, came forward saying this isn't new. He said it outright. People who've had dirt on Diddy have disappeared before, and what we're seeing now is only the beginning.
Whenever these trials come about, the closer you get to the trial date, a lot of things start happening to remove people from the case that are going to strengthen the case for the prosecution. And I feel like we're watching that take place now.
He said it with a calm that made it even more chilling. Things have already started. Big Homie didn't hold back. He spoke like someone who's seen too much. He said that when someone like Diddy gets hooked on control and power, something in them snaps. He called Diddy's actions evil.
And, you know, what type of man wants to see another man yearn in his wife's mouth. I feel like it's evil. I think his behavior is egregious.
And what if Diddy really wasn't the one in charge of all this? What if there's someone even bigger, still working quietly behind the curtain? Someone with enough power to wipe people out, silence witnesses, and twist the whole story. Someone who's still making sure the truth never reaches the surface. The idea that Diddy ran this whole twisted empire alone doesn't hold up anymore. The more you look, the more you realize this might be bigger than him. Just like Epstein, this case might expose a whole machine. A machine that uses NDAs, hush money, secret tapes, and fear to keep everything under control. And if we're not careful, it could all go quiet again. The signs are there, people vanishing, threats are being carried out. Former insiders are speaking up with fear in their voices. Diddy might be on trial, but the real power might still be untouched. And if that's true, then we've got a much bigger problem. Let's hear your thoughts. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next video.